Musician. Saul Hudson, born 23 July 1965, better known as Slash, is a British-American musician, songwriter, and record producer. He is best known as the lead guitarist of the American hard rock band Guns N' Roses, with whom he achieved worldwide success in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Slash has received critical acclaim and is considered one of the greatest guitarists in history. In 1993, Slash formed the side project Slash's Snakepit, and in 1996, he left Guns N' Roses and co-founded the supergroup Velvet Revolver, which re-established him as a mainstream performer in the mid to late 2000s. Slash has released 4 solo albums: Slash 2010, featuring an array of guest musicians, Apocalyptic Love 2012, World on Fire 2014, and Living the Dream 2018, recorded with his band, Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators. He returned to Guns N' Roses in 2016. Time magazine named him runner-up on their list of the 10 best electric guitar players in 2009, while Rolling Stone placed him at number 65 on their list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time in 2011. Guitar World ranked his guitar solo in November Rain number 6 on their list of the 100 greatest guitar solos in 2008, and Total Guitar placed his riff in Sweet Child O' Mine at number 1 on their list of the 100 greatest riffs in 2004. In 2010, Gibson Guitar Corporation ranked Slash as number 34 on their top 50 guitarists of all time, while their readers landed him number 9 on Gibson's top 25 guitarists of all time. In 2012, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Guns N' Roses' classic lineup. Early life. Saul Hudson was born in Stoke-on-Trent, Staffordshire, on 23 July 1965. He was named after Romanian-American cartoonist Saul Steinberg. His mother, Ola J. Hudson née Oliver, 1946–2009, was a Black American-born English fashion designer and costumier whose clients included David Bowie, whom she also dated, Ringo Starr, and Janis Joplin. His father, Anthony Hudson, is an English artist who created album covers for musicians such as Neil Young and Joni Mitchell. Of his mixed background, Slash has remarked, as a musician, "I've always been amused that I'm both British and Black, particularly because so many American musicians seem to aspire to be British, while so many British musicians, in the 60s in particular, went to such great pains to be Black." During his early years, Slash was raised by his father and paternal grandparents in Stoke-on-Trent while his mother moved to Los Angeles for work. When he was around 5 years old, he and his father joined his mother in Los Angeles. His brother, Albionesh Hudson, was born in 1972. Following his parents' separation in 1974, he chose to live with his mother and was often sent to live with his beloved maternal grandmother whenever his mother had to travel for her job. Slash sometimes accompanied his mother to work, where he met several film and music stars. He was given the nickname Slash by actor Seymour Cassel because he was always in a hurry, zipping around from one thing to another. In 1979, Slash decided to form a band with his friend Steven Adler. The band never materialized, but it prompted Slash to take up an instrument. Since Adler had designated himself the role of guitarist, Slash decided to learn how to play bass. Equipped with a one-string flamenco guitar given to him by his grandmother, he began taking classes with Robert Wallen, a teacher at Fairfax Music School. During his first lesson, Slash decided to switch from bass to guitar after hearing Wallen play Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones. His decision to play guitar was further influenced by one of his school teachers, who would play songs by Cream and Led Zeppelin for his students. As a result, Slash stated, "When I heard him do that, I said, that's what I want to do." He vividly recalls the feeling after learning Come Dancing from Wired by Jeff Beck, his greatest influence, which he described as fucking awesome. A champion BMX rider, Slash put the bike aside to devote himself to playing guitar, practicing up to 12 hours a day. Slash attended Beverly Hills High School and was a contemporary of musicians Lenny Kravitz and Zorro. Career, 1981-1985, early years. Slash joined his first band, Titus Sloan, in 1981. In 1983, he formed the band Road Crew, named after the Motorhead song We Are the Road Crew, with his childhood friend Steven Adler, who by then had learned to play drums. He placed an advertisement in a newspaper looking for a bassist and received a response from Duff McKagan. They auditioned a number of singers, including one-time Black Flag vocalist Ron Reyes, and worked on material that included the main riff of what became the Guns N' Roses song Rocket Queen. Slash disbanded the group the following year due to them not being able to find a singer, as well as Adler's lack of work ethic compared to himself and McKagan. He, along with Adler, then joined a local band known as Hollywood Rose, which featured singer Axl Rose and guitarist Izzy Stradlin. Following his time with Hollywood Rose, Slash played in a band called Black Sheep and unsuccessfully auditioned for Poison, a glam metal band that he later openly derided. 1985-1996, first stint with Guns N' Roses. In June 1985, Slash was asked by Axl Rose and Izzy Stradlin to join their new band Guns N' Roses, along with Duff McKagan and Steven Adler replacing founding members Tracy Guns, Old Bike and Rob Gardner, respectively. They played Los Angeles area nightclubs such as the Whiskey A Go-Go, the Roxy, and the Troubadour, and opened for larger acts throughout 1985 and 1986. Before one of the shows in 1985, Slash shoplifted a black felt top hat and a Native American-style silver concho belt from two stores on Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles. He then combined the hat with parts of the belt to create a piece of custom headwear for the show. He said he felt really cool wearing the hat, and it became his trademark. It was during 1985-1986 that the band wrote most of its classic material, including Welcome to the Jungle, Sweet Child O' Mine, and Paradise City. As a result of their rowdy and rebellious behavior, Guns N' Roses quickly received the moniker Most Dangerous Band in the World, causing Slash to remark, for some strange reason. After being scouted by several major record labels, the band signed with Geffen Records in March 1986. In July 1987, Guns N' Roses released its debut album, Appetite for Destruction, which as of September 2008 had sold over 28 million copies worldwide, 18 million of which were sold in the United States, making it the best-selling debut album of all time in the U.S. In the summer of 1988, the band achieved its only U.S. #1 hit with Sweet Child O' Mine, a song spearheaded by Slash's guitar riff and solo. In November of that year, Guns N' Roses released GNR Lies, which sold over 5 million copies in the U.S. alone, despite containing only 8 tracks, 4 of which were included on the previously released EP Live, *Cat Like a Suicide. As their success grew, so did interpersonal tensions within the band. In 1989, during a show as opening act for the Rolling Stones, Axl Rose threatened to leave the band if certain members of the band didn't stop dancing with Mr. Brownstone, a reference to their song of the same name about heroin use. Slash was among those who promised to clean up. However, the following year, Steven Adler was fired from the band because of his heroin addiction. He was replaced by Matt Sorum of The Cult. In May 1991, the band embarked on the 2.5-year-long Use Your Illusion tour. The following September, Guns N' Roses released the long-awaited albums Use Your Illusion I and Use Your Illusion Roman II, which debuted at #2 and #1 respectively on the U.S. chart, a feat not achieved by any other group. Izzy Stradlin abruptly left the band in November. He was replaced by Gilby Clarke of Candy and Kill for Thrills. Slash finished Use Your Illusion tour with Guns N' Roses on July 17, 1993. In November of that year, the band released The Spaghetti Incident, a cover album of mostly punk songs, which proved less successful than its predecessors. Slash then wrote several songs for what would have become the follow-up album to the Use Your Illusion double album. Axl Rose and Duff, however, rejected the material, with the band's failure to collaborate resulting in no album being recorded. Slash announced in October 1996 that he was no longer a part of Guns N' Roses. Slash stated at the time, "Axl and I have not been capable of seeing eye to eye on Guns N' Roses for some time. We tried to collaborate, but at this point I'm no longer in the band." Paul Tobias's inclusion in the band was another factor in Slash leaving, with Slash having both creative and personal differences with Tobias. However, in his 2007 autobiography, Slash stated that his decision to leave the band was not based on artistic differences with Axl Rose, but on Rose's constant lateness to concerts, the alleged legal manipulation Rose used since denied by Rose to gain control of the band, and the departures of Steven Adler and Izzy Stradlin. 1994–2002, Slash's Snakepit. In 1994, Slash formed Slash's Snakepit, a side project that featured his Guns N' Roses bandmates Matt Sorum and Gilby Clarke on drums and rhythm guitar respectively, as well as Alice in Chains' Mike Inez on bass and Jellyfish's Eric Dover on vocals. The band recorded Slash's material originally intended for Guns N' Roses, resulting in the release of its 5 O'Clock Somewhere in February 1995. The album was critically praised for ignoring the then popular conventions of alternative music, and fared well on the charts, eventually selling over 1 million copies in the US alone despite little promotion from Geffen Records. Slash's Snakepit toured in support of the album with bassist James Lomenzo and drummer Brian Tichy of Pride and Glory, before disbanding in 1996. Slash then toured for 2 years with the blues rock cover band Slash's Blues Ball. In 1999, Slash chose to regroup Slash's Snakepit with Rod Jackson on vocals, Ryan Roxy on rhythm guitar, Johnny Griparic on bass, and Matt Logg on drums. Their second album, Ain't Life Grand, was released in October 2000 through Cock Records. It did not sell as well as the band's previous release, and its critical reception was mixed. To promote the album, the band with Curry Kelly on rhythm guitar embarked on an extensive world tour in support of AC/DC in the summer of 2000, followed by their own headlining theater tour. Slash disbanded Snakepit in 2002. 2002–2008, Velvet Revolver. In 2002, Slash reunited with Duff McKagan and Matt Sorum for a Randy Castillo tribute concert. Realizing that they still had the chemistry of their days in Guns N' Roses, they decided to form a new band together. Former Guns N' Roses guitarist Izzy Stradlin was initially involved, but left after the others decided to find a lead singer. Dave Kushner, who had previously played with McKagan in Loaded, then joined the band on rhythm guitar. For many months, the four searched for a lead singer by listening to offered demo tapes, a monotonous process documented by V. Hone. Eventually, former Stone Temple Pilots vocalist Scott Weiland joined the band. In 2003, Velvet Revolver played several concerts during the summer and released their first single, Set Me Free. In June 2004, they released their debut album, Contraband, which debuted at #1 on the US chart and sold 2 million copies, re-establishing Slash as a mainstream performer. A year-and-a-half-long tour followed in support of the album. In 2005, the band was nominated for 3 Grammys, Rock Album of the Year Rock Song, and Hard Rock Performance for their Contraband single Slither, which won their first and only Grammy. In July 2007, Velvet Revolver released their second album, Libertad, and embarked on a second tour. During a show in March 2008, Weiland announced to the audience that it would be the band's final tour. He was fired from the band in April 2008, and Slash insisted chemical issues led to the split. The following month, Weiland rejoined Stone Temple Pilots. Despite Whalen's departure, Velvet Revolver did not officially disband. In early 2010, Velvet Revolver began writing new songs and auditioning new singers. By January 2011, the band had recorded 9 demos and was reportedly due to make a decision on their singer. However, the following April Slash stated that they had been unable to find a suitable singer and that Velvet Revolver would remain on hiatus for the next few years while its members focus on other projects. 2009 present, Slash featuring Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators. In September 2008, Slash began production on his debut solo album. He described the process of recording by himself as cathartic. He also mentioned working on the album gave him a chance to take a little bit of a break from all the politics and the democracy that is a band and just sort of do my own thing for a little bit. The album, simply titled Slash, debuted at No. 2016 present. Return to Guns N' Roses and Roses and Roses and Roses and Roses and Roses and Roses. On December 29, 2015, several days after a Guns N' Roses-related teaser was released to movie theaters, Billboard reported that Slash would rejoin the band to headline Coachella 2016, filling the lead guitarist spot vacated when DJ Ashba left the band. Guns N' Roses were officially announced as headliners of Coachella on January 4, 2016, with Kroc reporting Slash and Duff McKagan would rejoin the band. Slash performed with Guns N' Roses for the first time in 23 years during the band's secret warm-up gig at the Troubadour in Los Angeles on April 1, 2016. The band then embarked on the Not in This Lifetime tour. Session work. In 1991, Slash played lead guitar on the single Give In To Me off Michael Jackson's album Dangerous, as well as for the opening skit of the video for the song Black or White off the same album. In 1995, he played guitar on DS, a controversial song from Jackson's HR Story, Past, Present, and Future Buckeye album, and in 1997 appeared on the song Morphine off the remix album Blood on the Dance Floor, History in the Mix. In 2001, Slash played on Privacy off Jackson's final studio album, Invincible. Slash also joined Jackson on several occasions on stage, most notably at the 1995 MTV Video Music Awards playing with Jackson on Black or White and the introduction of Billie Jean. He made 2 surprise appearances during Jackson's 1992 Dangerous World Tour in Spain and Japan, and supported the 1999 charity concerts MJ and Friends in Seoul and Munich, playing the same set like he. The last time Slash and Jackson shared a stage was on both 2001 Michael Jackson 30th anniversary special concerts in New York City, playing Black or White and Beat It. In 1991, Slash collaborated with Lenny Kravitz on Always on the Run, the lead single from Kravitz's album Mama Said. In 1993, Slash appeared on the album Stone Free, a tribute to Jimi Hendrix, performing I Don't Live Today with Paul Rodgers and Band of Gypsies. Slash also guest appeared in Carole King's 1994 live concert, which was captured on her Carole King in Concert album. Slash and King appeared on David Letterman to promote the concert. In 1996, he collaborated with Marta Sanchez to record the flamenco-inspired song Obsession Confession for the Curdled soundtrack. Later that year, he played with Alice Cooper at Sammy Hagar's Club Cabo Wabo in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. The show was released the following year as A Fistful of Alice. In 1997, Slash appeared alongside rapper All Dirty Bastard and rock band Fishbone on Blackstreet's rock remix of their single Fix. He also appeared in the accompanying music video. Also in 1997, he played on the single But You Said I'm Useless by Japanese musician Jay. That same year, he contributed music to the soundtrack of Quentin Tarantino's Jackie Brown. Several compositions by Slash's Snakepit can be heard throughout the film. He also appeared on the Insane Clown Posse album The Great Maunko on the track Halls of Illusions. In 2002, Slash played on the title track to Alain's album Street Child. In 2003, he participated in the Yardbirds' comeback record Birdland. He played lead guitar on the track Over, Under, Sideways, Down. In 2006, Slash played on a cover of In the Summertime on keyboardist Derek Sherinian's solo album Blood of the Snake. He was also featured in the accompanying music video. In 2007, he appeared on Paulina Rubio's single Not a Pewd Cambiarm. In 2008, Slash played guitar on the film's score of The Wrestler, composed by Clint Mansell. Slash was the featured guitarist on the 2008 Italian hit single Gioca con me by Italian singer-songwriter Vasco Rossi. In 2009, he was featured on Rihanna's single Rockstar 101 off her album Rated R. In 2011, he contributed the song Kick It Up a Notch to the Disney Channel animation Phineas and Ferb the movie, Across the Second Dimension. He appeared in both live-action and animated form in the promotional music video. Other ventures. A self-described film buff, Slash has had small parts in several films and television series. In 1988, he appeared with his Guns N' Roses bandmates in the Dirty Harry film The Dead Pool, in which his character attends a musician's funeral and shoots a harpoon. He played radio DJ Hank in a 1994 episode of the horror anthology television series Tales from the Crypt. Slash was a guest star in an episode of the live-action / animated talk show Space Ghost Coast to Coast on Cartoon Network, where Space Ghost, Zorak, and Molter teach him how to do guitar licks, but he refuses to do any of that. In 1999, he appeared as the host of the Miss America Bag Lady pageant in the widely panned film The Underground Comedy Movie. He has also appeared as himself in several projects, including Howard Stern's Private Parts in 1997, The Drew Carey Show in 1998, MAD-TV in 2005, and Sacha Baron Cohen's Bruno in 2009. Slash voiced a recurring caricature of himself in Robert Evans' animated television series, Kid Notorious, which aired in 2003 on Comedy Central. As in real life, Slash is Evans' close friend and next-door neighbor on the show. He played Billy Butterface in the R-rated television show Metalocalypse on the Adult Swim. On May 5, 2009, he appeared as the guest mentor for the Rock and Roll Week of American Idol. In 2010, Slash formed Slasher Films, a horror film production company. Its first film, Nothing Left to Fear, was screened in select cities on October 4, 2013, before being released on DVD and Blu-ray the following Tuesday. Slash appeared on the October 26, 2014 episode of Talking Dead. He is reported to be a massive fan of horror movies. Slash's autobiography, simply titled Slash, was published on October 30, 2007. It was co-written with Anthony Bozza. Slash also made several contributions to The Heroin Diaries, A Year in the Life of a Shattered Rock Star, the autobiography of Motley Crue bassist and backup singer Nikki Sixx. Slash is a pinball enthusiast and collector. He participated in the design process for the 1994 Data East Guns N' Roses pinball machine, as well as the 2020 Jersey Jack pinball machine of the same theme, and provided music for the 1998 Sega machine Viper Night Driven. Slash is a playable character in the video game Guitar Hero Roman 3, Legends of Rock, released in 2007. His performance was motion captured to record his movements for the game. Slash's character becomes playable after a player beats him in a one-on-one competition, which then leads to the player and Slash playing the master track of Welcome to the Jungle. Guitar learning game Slash Simulator Rocksmith 2014 by Ubisoft released a Slash song pack with several of the latter compositions by the artist available to purchase as downloadable content and learn on the guitar. A keen artist, Slash designed logos and artwork for several of his pre-Guns N' Roses bands, as well as the famous circular Gianner logo. He is also credited as having provided some artwork for Aerosmith's 2012 album, Music from Another Dimension. as it reproduces a picture of the band drawn by Slash when he was still a teenager. Slash is a fan of the Angry Birds series of video games and created a hard rock version of the Angry Birds space theme song. In addition, Slash has a bird's avatar shown in the game released in March 2013. Personal life. On October 10, 1992, Slash married model actress Renee Surin in Marina del Rey, California. They divorced in late 1997 after 5 years of marriage. Slash married Perla Ferrer on October 15, 2001, in Hawaii. They have 2 sons, London Emilio born August 28, 2002, and Cash Anthony born June 23, 2004. Slash filed for divorce from Ferrer in August 2010, but the couple reconciled 2 months later. In December 2014, he again filed for divorce. Slash is a dual citizen of the United Kingdom and the United States. A British national since his birth, he has resided in Los Angeles since 1971, but did not acquire American citizenship until 1996. He said in 2010, "I do consider myself British. I have very strong feelings about my British heritage. My first years were there, I went to school there, and I have seemingly endless family on that side of the pond. So I've always felt most comfortable in England." Originally given between 6 days and 6 weeks to live, he survived through physical therapy and the implantation of a defibrillator. As of 2011, Slash had been clean and sober since 2005, which he credited to his then-wife Ferrer. In 2009, following his mother's death from lung cancer, he quit smoking. Slash has been recognized for his longtime contributions to establishing environmental welfare programs. He is a board trustee of the Greater Los Angeles Zoo Association and has long supported the Los Angeles Zoo and zoos around the world. Slash's love of reptiles was for many years a notable aspect of his public persona, with several of his many snakes appearing with him in music videos and photo shoots, until the birth of his first son in 2002 forced him to fly. Slash's friendship with Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose soured following his departure from the band. In 2006, Rose claimed that Slash had shown up at his house uninvited the previous year to offer a truce. He alleged that Slash had insulted his Velvet Revolver bandmates, telling Rose that he considered Scott Weiland a fraud and Duff McKagan spineless, and that he hated Matt Sorum. Slash denied the accusations. In his 2007 autobiography, he admitted to visiting Rose's home with the intention to settle a long-standing legal dispute and make peace with his former bandmate. He claims, however, that he did not speak with Rose and instead merely left a note. Slash maintains that he had not spoken with Rose in person since 1996. In 2009, in response to a statement by Rose in which he referred to Slash as a cancer, Slash commented, "It doesn't really affect me at all. It's been a long time. The fact that he has anything to say at all, it's like whatever, dude. It doesn't really matter." In an August 2015 interview, Slash stated that he subsequently rejoined Guns N' Roses in 2016. Slash's drummer son London Hudson debuted his new band Suspectwall 108 in late 2020. The band also features Robert Trujillo's son Ty Trujillo on bass and Scott Weiland's son Noah Weiland on vocals. Slash promoted the band on his social media accounts. Philanthropy. Slash is an honorary board member of Little Kids Rock, a national nonprofit that works to restore and rejuvenate music education programs in disadvantaged public schools. He has visited Little Kids Rock students, jammed with them, and donated instruments and his time. Slash's passion for music is evident in his charity as well as his art. Being a musician is good for the character because it teaches you a lot about discipline, Slash said. "I think it's a great creative outlet." Awards and accolades. Slash has received critical acclaim as a guitarist. In 2005, He was named Best Guitarist by Esquire, which congratulated him on beating the comeback odds with a surprisingly legitimate and vital outfit, Velvet Revolver. Slash was awarded the title of Riff Lord during Metal Hammer's fourth annual Golden Gods Awards in 2007. In 2008, he was ranked number 21 on Jaguar's list of the 50 greatest guitarists ever, and in 2009, he was named runner-up on the 10 best electric guitar players list in Time, which praised him as a remarkably precise player. In 2011, Rolling Stone placed Slash at number 65 on their list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time. In 2007, Slash was honored with a star on the Rock Walk of Fame. His name was placed alongside Jimmy Page, Eddie Van Halen, and Jimi Hendrix. He was the honoree at the 2010 Sunset Strip Music Festival, where he was presented by West Hollywood Mayor John Haleman with a plaque declaring August 26 as Slash Day. In 2012, Slash was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of the classic lineup of Guns N' Roses. He performed 3 songs, Paradise City, Sweet Child O' Mine, and Mr. Brownstone, with fellow inductees Duff McKagan, Steven Adler, and Matt Sorum, one-time Guns N' Roses guitarist Gilby Clarke, and his frequent collaborator Myles Kennedy. Inductees Axl Rose, Izzy Stradlin, and Dizzy Reed declined to attend. Later that year, Slash received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, located directly in front of the Hard Rock Cafe on Hollywood Boulevard. In 2004, Slash's introductory riff in Sweet Child O' Mine was voted number 1 on a list of the 100 greatest riffs by the readers of Total Guitar. His riffs in Out Ta Get Me No. 51, Welcome to the Jungle No. 21, and Paradise City No. 19 also made the list. In 2006, his solo in Paradise City was voted number 3 by Total Guitar's readers on a list of the 100 hottest guitar solos. His solos in Sweet Child O' Mine and November Rain were ranked number 30 and no. 82 respectively. In 2008, Guitar World placed Slash's solo in November Rain at no. 6 on their list of the 100 greatest guitar solos, while his solo in Sweet Child O' Mine was ranked number 37 on the list. In 2010, the readers of Total Guitar voted his riff in Slither runner-up on the list of the 50 greatest riffs of the decade, while his riff in By the Sword was ranked number 22. Slash received a Radio Contraband Rock Radio Award in 2012. In January 2015, Slash received the Les Paul Award. Equipment. Slash owns more than 100 guitars. His guitars are worth a total of $1.92 million. He prefers the Gibson Les Paul, which he has called the best all-around guitar for me. Gibson has credited him and Zakk Wylde with bringing the Les Paul back into the mainstream in the late 1980s. His main studio guitar is a 1959 Gibson Les Paul Standard replica, built by luthier Chris Derrig, which he came to own during the recording sessions for Guns N' Roses' debut album, Appetite for Destruction. He used that guitar on every subsequent album he recorded with Guns N' Roses and Velvet Revolver. For many years, his main live guitar was a 1988 Gibson Les Paul Standard. Since 1997, Slash has collaborated with Gibson on 17 signature Les Paul models, 5 through Gibson USA, 7 through the Gibson Custom Shop, and 5 through the Gibson subsidiary Epiphone. Slash also plays various other Gibson guitars, including Firebirds and Explorers. In addition to Gibson, he also plays or has played guitars by a plethora of other brands as well, including B.C. Rich, with whom he has designed several custom models based on their Mockingbird and Bitch designs. He's also used guitars by Fender, Gretsch, Jackson, and Martin. He has also collaborated on signature equipment with other companies. In 1996, Marshall introduced the Marshall Slash Signature JCM 2555, an authentic reissue of the Marshall Silver Jubilee JCM 2555 released in 1987. It was the first signature amp ever produced by Marshall, with production limited to 3,000. In 2007, Jim Dunlop introduced the Crybaby SW-95/signature wah, designed after Slash's own custom-built Crybaby wah pedal. In 2010, Seymour Duncan introduced the Olnico Roman II Pro/APH-2 pickups, which were designed to recreate the tone of Slash's main studio guitar. The Slash signature pickups were marketed through Seymour Duncan's YouTube channel, with product demonstrator Danny Young performing the official videos. Also in 2010, Marshall introduced the Marshall AF-100, a recreation of the Marshall 1959. On stage, Slash prefers Marshall amplifiers, particularly the Marshall Silver Jubilee JCM 2555 amp. He used a rented or Luminous 1970s Marshall 1959 for the recording of Appetite for Destruction. Slash enjoyed the amp so much that he tried to keep it, telling the rental company, SIR, that it had been stolen. However, the amp was repossessed by SIR employees after a roadie accidentally brought it to rehearsals at the store. For the recording of Velvet Revolver's debut album, Contraband, he used a Voxa C30 amp and small Fender tube amps, and on their second album, Libertad, he used the Marshall Vintage Modern 2466 amp. On his eponymous debut solo album, he used a Marshall JCM 800, issued as #34, and later on the subsequent world tour, Slash used his signature Marshall AF-100 amp. Discography. Solo albums. Slash 2010. Slash featuring Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators. Apocalyptic Love 2012, D12. World on Fire 2014, Living the Dream 2018. With Guns N' Roses and 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 Roses. Appetite for Destruction 1987. GNR Lies 1988. Use Your Illusion I 1991. Use Your Illusion Roman II 1991. The Spaghetti Incident 1993. With Slash's Snakepit. It's 5 o'clock somewhere 1995. Ain't Life Grand 2000. With Velvet Revolver. Contraband 2004. Libertad 2007.